Good morning. Happy Labor Day weekend. Monday. In here, max effort. Time to bleed. Lifts we got today on the list is a banded box squat. I don't have my box quite yet, so for today I'm just going to use the bench. Just kind of go through the motions with you guys, show you what goes on, push my intensity a little bit. After that, we're going to do some rack pulls. I don't quite have the box for that yet either, so I will mock up a way to demonstrate that to you to help you with that upper end of your deadlift to get the hips to fall through. I have speed deads after that. Just going to go through form, work on my speed to explosion off the ground, lockout. After that, I'm going to do hip thrust with a barbell. Same thing, help with that upper deadlift. Today is mainly deadlift focused in a way. Definitely working on all the power. I want to get that 635 up. And then after that, we're just going to do some light little calves just to get the blood flow going through. And let's get after it. So, start off with what equipment I'm using. I'm going to be doing this with my Elite FTS safety squat bar. I'm going to also have this Elite FTS band around my legs at one point just to help get warmed up and stretch and really push. You'll see a lot of the bigger guys use this in training and in warm-ups. It just tries to force your legs in, and when that pressure forces out along with the squat, it really puts you to some work. I also have the Ethos Heavy Band I'm going to be attaching to the bar, and then I have my Rogue or Westside Barbell red mini bands I'm going to attach to that as well. The whole point of the bands is so when you shoot out of that bottom, it forces you to power through, which is where a lot of people fail. You'll see them get to that bottom, and then they'll come up, and then that's where they drop. You don't want that. Obviously, you want to make the lift. So when you train and you use bands, it's going to force you to just, in your head, you're going to just shoot through because that's all you really know. So gear-wise on me, I have my SSF knee sleeves. They're pretty heavy duty. I really like them because I'm fat and I can't bend over to pull them up. So they got pull straps. So I just pull right up and I'm set. Now, I always usually wear Converse when I lift. I have Olympic lifters. I might use them sometimes. Usually I just stick with Converse and I just get my workout done and I go from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started with just the bar. I might throw like a 25 on, just focus on reps, show you guys the form you're looking for, and then we'll throw some bands on, more weight, and we'll get after it. So the big thing you'll find on a squat is a lot of people need to find their stance with how their hips are. A lot of people are narrow, a lot of people are wide, a lot of people are in the middle. I prefer to go wider, and obviously I'm pretty much going towards the edge of my Olympic platform here. And you want to focus on keeping that low back tight, dropping your lats, and you want to reach back as far as you can with your butt to where you sit. Now here's where a lot of people mess up because they'll try and rock it and get up. They're building that momentum. You want to focus on almost pulling your toes up just a tad and driving with your heels. So it's here, here. You're powering up, down, up. I mean, your feet should come off the ground with no weight, and you should be flying. You're jumping through the ceiling is your whole plan. And that is how you're going to grow your squat, and you're going to grow your explosiveness and your power. That will translate to your deadlift. So let me show you what that looks like on a barbell. This barbell, to me, feels better than a regular standard barbell. The way it just sits on me, I feel a lot more comfortable. I can put a lot more weight on it, and I can push myself a lot harder. Drive yourself into the rack. Get your feet under your hips. Come up. 1, 2. Usually people take 3 steps. Take whatever's comfortable. You're going to come down. Push your knees out. Here. Here. Now, this lift is easy to mess up. Nah, it's fucking retarded. I don't know why I fucking said that. We're going to go ahead and add the 25s on here real quick. Do maybe like 5, 6 easy reps. Just go through the motion. Another big thing is to focus on your core. I'm going to say this a lot because core is huge in lifting and a lot of people don't understand how to breathe or how to brace against the belt. When you're doing it, you're not pulling it into your chest. You're pushing your stomach as far out as you can. That is going to expand that belt, and it's going to, in its essence, make you a hydraulic pump. You're going to be just completely solid, rock tight. Think of a pop can. You got a full pop can. You go to squeeze it. It's really not going to break. You let all the liquid out. Now it has nothing on the inside. you squeeze, it's going to bend very easily. Same way with lifting. So these barbells typically weigh about 70 pounds. I'm not sure the resistance where we're currently at. On Westside's website, they'll tell you about what every band is. I know this isn't a Westside belt, it's Ethos. But Westside usually has a general thing where if you're squatting exactly how I have the band set up here, it's this weight. If you have it set up like this up to it, it'll tell you. And I'll do another video when I do a banded bench, and I'll show you exactly how that looks on there because it is set up differently. So I'm not sure what weight we're at, but I'm just going to show you that it throws you off on a band. You're having constant energy pulling you down, and it's just a lot different than how the gravity works on a normal weight. I'm going to go ahead and slip this band on just for added resistance. Notice I'm not at my knee sleeves yet. I don't feel my knees struggling. I don't feel like they need to be compressed to have that power to help me get it up. I just feel like right now I just want to get everything warmed up, get a sweat in, and get the pump going. Head up, walk out, down nice and slow, power up. You can see the bar kind of wiggle side to side. That's how that band works. A lot different than weight. Forces you to control it. Notice how I'm sitting down and this band is fully extended. I can feel it all the way back here where it is just trying to pull me in and I'm forcing it out. So we have 120 alone in bar weight, 50 plus the 70, 120. The green bands, like I said, I'm really not sure on the tension. I would probably put this somewhere around the 185 to the 200 area if I had to guess. I can look it up later on and I'll start getting more accurate numbers on that. But let's go ahead and we'll just do a speed triple. That's a lot of thing with these lifts. I don't do 10 to 20 reps. I'm just doing my couple speed reps, making sure my form's tight, start working up a weight. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy on it. We're going to go ahead and add the red bands on. I don't know what this is going to feel like, so we're just going to try that first. I'm going to go ahead and slide my knee sleeves on. This is my first true squat here, so I'm not 100% sure on how this even is going to feel. And the rack did not like it with both bands up, so I went ahead and threw some counterweights down to kind of hold it down. We're going to go ahead and do another same thing, speed triple. I'm sure this is over 200, just not exactly sure where at the top. So now we got the 45s on. So we have 160 of true bar weight. And then I'm going to estimate another 100 to 160 of band weight with both the red and the green bands. Same thing, do our triples. Added 25s. Gonna do another triple with this. You notice I don't have my belt on quite yet. I usually don't put it on until I start feeling the need for it. If you're unracking, bracing, you're getting yourself completely full, and you've learned how to brace, you shouldn't have a problem until you start getting up there. And at that point, you still may not have a problem. Everybody's different. Everybody's at different levels of experience. Everything's different for every individual. Lifting is not a one-size-fits-all at all. It's completely different for everybody. So let's go ahead and do a nice little triple. And once it starts getting heavier for me, you'll notice I kind of go a lot easier. I had no clue what this was going to feel like. This definitely feels like it's close to 400 mark. So we're going to throw another plate on. All right, so now that we're definitely in the 4 range, probably low 4s, I'm going to go ahead and put my belt on just to make sure I'm bracing myself correctly and I'm getting where I need to go. I have the Evolution belt. I am a size XL. I'll show you guys how to put it on for a lot of people that don't know. You basically get it right in your spot. There's little plastic pieces in the back that help support. You're going to last one over, this one over, and this one over. And in my opinion, this is one of the best soft belts you can get. I have an ends or hard belt that once I start hitting a point where I'm doing heavy singles, I'll put it on. I'm not going to really do that today. Today I'm just kind of going through the motions. I'm going to get heavy, but I'm not going to like max out. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to do a nice quick single of this. Just see what it feels like. Nice and easy. I like how that felt. That's why I kind of do singles, because I don't know where it's going to be. And obviously, there's no support beams with bands, so I really would prefer not to drop it and ruin everything. We're going to throw a 25 on, do a single, and see how that feels. All right. I said fuck it. We threw a 35 on. 20 pounds up. But now we're 90, 180, plus 70, 250, plus 70, 320. Yeah, 320. 320 bar weight plus the bands. Not sure. I know we're over mid 4s just by picking it up. I'm going to go ahead and put my hard belt on just to show you guys what that looks like. I have the soft belt and I have this adjusted to go over it. And it just clips in, latch, lever belt. So all it does is it lets my soft belt expand to a certain point. And then basically this hard belt's like, all right, this is a brick wall. You're not moving anywhere past here. So I'll unrack, push out my stomach, and at that point, it will be latched, so you can see the difference from where I go to it stops it. That little bit does help, and it will push you a long way. Obviously, the stronger the core, the better you're going to be a lifter overall. So that's your main goal here. Today, I just want to push heavy, and I want to exhaust myself and bleed. So let's go ahead and do this. That was fucking heavy, and that was fucking ugly. So I'll say that's where we're ending on squats for today. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move into rack pulls. The whole point of rack pulls is for that upper end of your deadlift. You're trying to strengthen that. So you notice when it gets really heavy for some people, they'll do what's called a hitch. I do that a lot. Now, I'm not the best at it, but I really like doing it. It takes a lot less energy, and it's just overall an easier way to do it for me. Currently, I'm using this Dix bar. At this point, I really am just using whatever I got, balling on a budget. The bar doesn't seem to be too bad. It's not obviously Rogue or Texas Power Bar type quality, but for what I'm doing in here, it's going to be just fine. And later on down the road, I'll get it going. So you basically want to set up exactly how your deadlift is. And where you want to set it up is basically right below your knees. You're basically doing your deadlift. You're just doing that upper portion where everybody fails a deadlift. It's either off the ground or it's at the top. More than likely, it's going to be at the top. So you set up for your deadlift. You reach down, you grab your exact position, pull yourself to the bar, get your hips under, power. You'll notice as I pick up speed, my hips will move faster towards the bar. That is what is going to finish your deadlift. So the faster you can move your hips into that bar, the faster that deadlift's going to go up, the more momentum you're going to have. It's going to make you complete a better deadlift. So we're going to work up and weight to this. You want to get heavy, very heavy on this. The whole point of this is so that your body, your hips, your low back, your lats, everything is so tight and so used to that weight that when you go to deadlift that weight, it is no problem. So let's go ahead and add more weight. 225 on the bar. You're moving up 90-pound increments. It is going to start getting harder. Depending on where your deadlift is, you'll know where your rack pull around should be. So if my deadlift is 545, once I start getting into the fives, I know, okay, it's about to start getting harder. You need to buckle down and really explode. You want to make sure your lats are tight, everything's dropped in, your triceps are flexed. You want your perfect position so when you unrack it and you explode, it is just as if you were deadlifting. Get set up, grab it. You'll notice I don't do a lot of reps. To me, it's a fatiguing point. If you are not working at the weight where your body really starts working, you've wasted your energy on earlier lifts. That's not saying don't do more reps. You can. Everybody's bodies built differently. Me personally, I found I get more fatigued if I do a lot of reps on lower weight. So you'll usually see me in the 3 to 6 range. It's just whatever my body feels like doing, that is what I do. Another tip, when you're starting to chalk up, make sure you get this line right here, right into your thumb. This is right where the bar is going to sit. That is a huge point of it. Chalk the rest of your hand up real nice. But right here is where your bar is going to sit. And that's where your chalk really needs to be. Chalk's old. It'll work for today. Rub it in, clap, get it off. Let's roll. All right, now we're at 385. I'm still going to chalk up. I'm starting to run out of weight. It's kind of going to be a problem on heavier lifts like this, where you're doing usually up to your deadlift max, if not your deadlift max. So that's going to be a problem in the future. I'll get more weights as I go. Like I said, this is just a thing I've done in 2 weeks. So let's go ahead and do a nice little triple here. The rack does not like that weight. I noticed that halfway through. I'm not even sure what these are rated for, but we're going to send this and just see what happens. All right, I went ahead and went to the straps. The knurling on this bar is terrible. So it doesn't help at all. Like I said, that's a problem in the future. I don't mind using straps. My grip's decent. I focus on grip on Saturday, so that's a good thing. These are the Redcon 1 straps. I personally love these for deadlifting without a suit. With a suit, I can't get it wrapped around. So the easiest way to get this is you go under the bar, pull your hand into the bar, and then from there, you're just going to twist your wrists and you're going to loop it around. once, twice. You really don't need them more than that. Your grip is still going to help. These just help you to an extent. So I'm going to be taking it real easy because this rack does not like this weight. I need to get my rack boxes done, and I can bring those in, and then I can push more weight for you guys. So that was 385 plus 70. Holy shit, I'm sweating. So 455. Did it for a nice little triple. Definitely have more, but today's just a walkthrough day. Make sure everything feels good. Like I said, the rack does not like this weight. So once I get my boxes done, I'll push more weight for you guys. I'll buy more plates. So, all right, we're moving on to speed deadlift. Personally, I like to do some form of it. Obviously, rack pull, you're getting that top end, so now I want to work that bottom end, but I'm just staying light. This is kind of just a breather, filler workout. It's a way for me to focus that my form is accurate. It's a way for me to mentally focus, which I am a huge mental lifter, that I know what I'm doing and I need to do it. That's all it is. Push yourself. Don't think of the number. Just do it. You're going to be fine. So let's go ahead and set up here just for my deadlift. I'm a narrow stance guy. I used to be real wide, but now I do it to where, think of yourself as you're running up to smack the backboard, right? You're going to go here, and right where your feet land is where you need to be. You can change it up how you want. If you're doing sumo, I only do conventional. Strongman is really only conventional, which is any width, but your wrists need to be outside of your ankles. Basically how it works. Not every lift is like that. They obviously have exceptions, but for the most part, I am straight conventional, and that is it. So you'll never really see me do sumo at all if I ever would. So, like I said, get that one hop step, your power jump, right there is where your feet need to be. Now, another key tip. A lot of people have their toes facing forward, just like my squat. I don't know if I mentioned it. Every lift I basically do, your toes are just slightly pointed outwards. You're not all the way out here, you're just here. And you're focusing on pushing your knees out. So it's the same thing with every lift. Every power explosive movement, knees out, knees out, knees out. So you're not being stupid with it and bowing on the edge of your feet. You're still staying planted, but it's just opening your hips up to that driving point. So go ahead and get set up here. I like to screw my feet into the ground. Same with my squat. I notice a lot of people have not heard of that. Basically what it is, you're just kind of like grinding your hip. You're grinding your hip and your to your knee, to your ankle. Everything is getting driven to the ground and tight and locked up. It's like that can we were talking about. It's going to make everything tight, compressed, locked, and boom, you explode. You get set up here. Make sure you pull the slack out. That click right here, that is called the slack. Right now it's light, so as I get set, you'll notice the weight will come off the ground before I even start. We're going to go up another plate, 225 here. I'm at a slight deficit as these pads are not level with the platform. And honestly, that's still just going to help you over time. Because when you go to pull normal or at an average height, you're going to rocket it up because you're used to being so much lower. It's going to teach you to get your hips to the bar, which is where a lot of people fail, and I myself fail. So we're going to go ahead and do this. All right, it got hot. I'm basically the Sam Sulek of strongman. We're gonna move up to 315. Probably gonna stay here. Just do a nice little triple. Really focusing on driving with your heels. That's where all your power is gonna be in this. I'm very lower body dominant, so you'll notice I'll run out of weight on lower body, but upper body I'm not there. So Let's go ahead and strap up. You don't need chalk when you have straps. If you're using the straps correctly, it's going to really focus on the muscle that you're intending to use. So let's go ahead and get started. Three and a half plates. Not really near my max yet. I don't think that's 85% of my max. We're just doing triples. Just kind of getting used to the first true lift here and what it feels like. So we'll go ahead and we'll do this for a triple, beltless. Lifting beltless is going to build your core, and that's where a lot of people have injuries. Their core gives out, they don't brace correctly, and that's where your injuries start. So that's one thing I really focus on is core tight, pushing your stomach as far out as you can, getting that big breath, thinking of yourself as a hydraulic pump. Nice and easy dribble. Man, it just feels weird being on this setup I got. It's a lot to get used to, completely different from where I normally lift and how that feels. So we're going to go ahead and end it with speed. See what we got next. On to the last thing I'm going to do today. This is kind of a makeshift home way to do it. I'm actually going to do calf raises. There's a machine that has the weight on your shoulders, and you're basically on a ledge, and you're just raising. Basically what I'm doing in a way here. I got the safety squat bar loaded on my back, staying on this 35-pound plate, and it gives me about an inch up, somewhere around there. At least just do it for the most part. Normally, on days like today, I would do hip thrust. I tried it with a barbell. Just the way the bench and everything was working, it wasn't working right, so I still got to figure that one out. I also do hypers. Hypers today, I would do 50% of my max squat, 1 rep max. I would do that for 10 reps, 4 sets. So that is something that if you're looking to really increase your deadlift, really increase that lower back strength, reverse hypers is the number one thing in my opinion. That's like one of the main reasons it was built, besides the fact that Louis had a lower disc issue, and basically it strengthened all that up, gave it some more space, and that's why he was still able to lift at his age instead of doing a surgery, which I don't recommend. So go ahead and get racked here. Nice and light. Get up here. Hold on to this for support. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do this. Me personally, since I'm focusing on the explosive, I like to shoot up as fast as I can with it, almost like how I'm doing an overhead push press, how I'm just, and I'm shoving as hard as I can. I want my calf strength to be up there. You're not focusing on your calves on that, but that's another day. Or you can do a way that I found where you go up halfway, hold it for a couple seconds, go up all the way, hold it for seconds, slow down, hold it at the bottom for a couple seconds. It doesn't really work here because I don't have enough heel room. So for now, I'm just going to do the sets where I just explode and explode, explode. So we'll do it again. even on a set of 10 with light weight like this, your calf should still be feeling something. About that 5 to 6 rep range, I start feeling that little burn running up my calf. And that's what you want. If you're not giving it your all on every lift and you're not feeling what you're using, you're wasting your time. This is an exercise that I've just kind of made up, went along with the way I go, and to me, I think it works pretty perfect. I might be able to work out doing making my own box at home and that I can use for it for calf raises specifically. I think that's something that a lot of people need to work on is their lower body, and this whole exercise we've done today is one way to really start your growth. Week by week, I do different stuff. You'll notice my intensity may change, my lifts will change, and sometimes you'll see me do the same lifts. Every week, I usually try and do almost every lift of my workout differently. Every workout session, you'll see me do maybe five to six different lifts. That first lift is the lift where you give it your all and you go 100% and you're really struggling. After that, it's mostly accessory work. You'll get heavy, but you're working to accessorize towards your goal. So like today, I was mainly focused on that upper end of my deadlift. That squat is going to help me power through at the top of my deadlift. The rack pull is going to help me towards the top of my deadlift. The speed deads are going to help me with just explosion and form all the way through. I was supposed to do hip thrusts. That is going to help me bring my hips and really just give it to her. The calf raises are going to help me just with overall explosion in every lift. Calf raises are a universal lift for any lift you're doing, regardless. If it involves your feet, you have strong calves, you have strong legs, it's going to help you out a lot better. Even on bench with leg drive, it's going to really help with having strong legs and strong hips. Not only just your back, obviously your chest and your triceps. All that combined, obviously if you're strong all the way around, you're going to be strong. So yeah, that makes sense. Let's go ahead and do another set. I'm not pulling on the rack either. If I was pulling myself to the rack, you would see it go like this, back and forth. This bar is kind of hard to stabilize on its own. So I'm just kind of holding it here, trying to flare out my shoulders a little bit, trying to steady it so I can keep myself balanced and really focus on the squeeze. Now, because I like to lift heavy, I'm going to throw another 25 on. No, this is not the heaviest, but I like more weight and exploding against it as I like pain. To feel pain, I need to be heavy. I always want to lift heavy. That's a problem with a lot of lifters. They can't taper down. When you're coming into a meet, you want to taper down just a little bit. You don't want to necessarily go in and do nothing. You want to work on your form about 2 weeks out prior comp. But it does not mean you just walk around and do lightweight. It's usually, I'm a big percentage guy. Jim Wendler, 531 program. That is a very good program and is all percentage based to kind of give you an idea of what to do. With 65% is your deload, 75, 85, 95. That is your each week how you do it. I just finished the comp, so right now I'm more focused on just showing you guys what I do. And then as I start getting closer to nationals in 2024, I will iterate that program for about 8 weeks. And that's basically how I'll lead up to comp. My workouts from here will change. My workouts at Boss will change. And that's basically how you get ready for a comp. Everything changes from going to just focusing on your strength and your mass and your power to lift specific power and strength, if that makes sense. You're focusing on your muscle group that you're going to intend to use. Circus dumbbell, I'm focusing on explosion and locking out my tricep as hard as I can. Last week, I was doing the 145 dumbbell, and the biggest problem is keeping that center of gravity. So there's another core thing where you need your core to be strong in order to one-handed press 145, and my weight's going to be heavier than that come national time. So you'll notice a lot of comps. Some of them run light, some of them run very heavy, and you need to be ready for the very heavy part, because from there your warm-ups are not like in here where you can just do no weight plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, 4 plate, and then lift 5 plate. It is more like, here's the bar, here's half the comp weight, here's the comp weight. That is it. That's all you get. You don't get a ton of warm up. So these guys that you see compete, they can definitely do more outside of the comp. You're going to have more adrenaline rush, and you're going to have everybody cheering you on. It's going to power you. But arguably, when you're in your own home setting or your own gym where you feel comfortable, where you've trained with that equipment multiple times, you have a proper warm up, a proper nutrition, proper rest, you're going to do a lot more. Makes sense. So let's go ahead and do the last set here. Do like 10 or 12. Just feel it out. All right, guys, that wraps it up for today. I want to say shout out to Vince's Muscle Shop. He always hooks me up with some good supplements, pre-workouts, aminos, everything I need to properly nourish my body. He is able to ship, so if you guys want to, check him out. He is a great dude. He always gives the best prices. So that's all I have for today. Thanks.